documents that we read for today were about right before the Civil War and the politics involved with the Civil War. And one of the documents focused on the presidential debates between Douglas and Lincoln. And so what I focus on is Lincoln and his views on equality because, well, Lincoln was a super popular president. If Family Feud was to go out and poll a bunch of people on, who is like someone's favorite president, the most popular president, Lincoln would probably be the number one answer because, everyone knows who Lincoln was. And with that, we have some characterizations of Lincoln that aren't true because he's so popular and there's this like consensus on who he actually was that don't actually fit with the evidence history gives us. And particularly that happens with Abraham Lincoln's views on equality. In the document that we read about the debate, we see like Douglas attacking Lincoln's views, and he's this radical abolitionist. He wants to make, African Americans equal with everyone. And Lincoln says, no, that's not what I'm about at all. I don't even want to abolish slavery in the South. And we also see these views come together in this quote right here that says, I am not nor ever have been in favor of bringing about in any way the social and political equality of the white and black races. That I am not nor ever have been in favor of making voters or jurors of Negroes, nor of qualifying them to hold office nor to intermarry with white people, and I will say in addition to this that there is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races living together in terms of social and political equality. I will add to this that I have never seen, to my knowledge, a man, woman, or child who is in favor of producing a perfect equality, social and political, between Negroes and white men. This is a pretty explicit statement by Lincoln on his views of equality, and that's just a thing that he didn't believe in. And that's something that we as modern people fall victim to, is making Lincoln this perfect human who was, like the lead abolitionist who freed all the slaves and promoted all their rights so that they would be equal with us. And if Lincoln had been assassinated, we wouldn't need the 1965, Civil Rights Act to make everyone equal because Lincoln would have done that. And that's just not the case because that's not what history shows us to be the instance. And this connects to this greater point of people who distort narratives to fit their views, and we see everyone do that. This image right here is a statue of Abraham Lincoln, and a sign that says we all deserve the freedom to marry, which is obviously talking about gay marriage. And whoever put the sign next to Lincoln is saying is, Lincoln was all about equality, and he would have been for gay marriage. Now, not to make any commentaries about that debate, but that's just not a good argument because this isn't who Lincoln was, and it's mischaracterizing who Lincoln was as a person and his beliefs. And we all, to an extent, do this, especially in political parties. They love to mischaracterize and distort history to fit their narratives. And everyone does it. We see the right do it with the founding, and we see, the left do it like in an instance right here. And that's something that we have to be cautious about. And as good students of history, we have to be careful to do history justice and to not try and distort it to our views. So, that was about Lincoln and his views on equality. Thank you guys for listening.